Yellow. Take your time. Get up more in my church of memories. This is Carl speaking now. It's not started yet. Yes, ma'am. It's not started yet. It had just once you get on there, it'll start playing in a minute, and then you should be good to go to watch it. Yes, ma'am. But it hasn't started yet. Give me about 5 minutes, okay? Yes. Let's go back to the side about 5 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, our ceremonies will begin in a few moments. As a courtesy, please ensure all cell phones and electronic devices are turned off or switched to silent mode. Also, for our civilian guests in the audience today, it is customary to stand and place your right hand over your heart during the national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Staff Sergeant Christian Carbo, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. Today, we gather to recognize Master Sergeant Dwayne Lyman, who has faithfully and honorably served in his country as a member of the United States Air Force for 22 years. The presiding official for today's ceremony is the commander, 316 Civil Engineering Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Graham Auden. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors, the singing of the national anthem by Cornelius Berry, and the invocation by Captain Mr. Ravi. Post the color.
Colors, hold, present, arms.
Why the arms are mine? What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night. For the ramparts we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Or arms. Others are parched.
Would you bow your heads with me for a word of prayer? Father, thank you for today. Thank you for this moment in time in which we honor Sergeant Lyman and his family for 20 faithful years of military service. There's been good days, bad days, ups, downs, failures, success. But as Granny would say, through it all, my good days outweighed the bad. And most importantly, Lord, you've been faithful to your word. You have never left them, nor have you forsaken them. You have ordered their steps. You have guided their path. You have been the great I am. Everything that they needed. Father, we thank you for the impact that the Lyman family has had on the mission of the Air Force, but most importantly, the impact that they've had on the airmen. Father, as they close this chapter in their book of life and they begin a new chapter, I pray happiness, joy, peace, and success at whatever they put their hands to. Let them know that this is not the end, but is a transition to a new beginning. And their best life is still ahead. It's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Berry, Honor Guard, and Captain Rady. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, we would like to recognize the family, friends, and special guests of Master Sergeant Lyman who are with us today. Please help me welcome Master Sergeant Lyman's wife, Kendra Lyman. Their daughter, Jordan Lyman. Master Sergeant Lyman's sister, Carla Howes, and Erica Turner, and also his brother-in-law, Chris Turner. We would also like to welcome our base and wing leadership. The Command Chief, 20th Fighter Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Liz Featherston. The Commander, 20th Civil Engineering Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Oxidine. We would also like to welcome all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and members of Team Shaw to today's ceremony. The retirement ceremony is a time-honored military tradition. It acknowledges many years of dedication to our great country. Throughout an Air Force member's career, both the member and their family make significant sacrifices. Today marks the closure of a military career that has spanned 22 years and the acceptance of a new challenge, retirement from active duty. Those of us who have worked with Master Sergeant Lyman are proud to have served alongside him. We will miss his steadfast presence, wisdom, and positive impact he has made on those he worked with. We hope today's ceremony will demonstrate our deepest respect and gratitude for Master Sergeant Lyman's service and sacrifice over the last 2 decades. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the Commander, 20th Civil Engineering Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Oxidine.
Flash is a little shorter than me, but he's faster. All right, so good morning, welcome. All right, I want to keep this brief, I promise. Well, first off, I just want to say, thanks for everyone for coming out today supporting Sergeant Lyman. Especially thanks to this guy right here to his left, to his right. Thank you, man, for coming down. I know it's a sacrifice, but Appreciate you coming out. It means a lot to that guy, to your life, so thank you. First off, I just want to say, all right, Sergeant Lyman, stop playing around, man. I mean, can we just say, I was just kidding, we can walk away? Because the bar is right there. Yeah, we can do that. Food, right? So, all right, jokes aside, I would say the past 5 months working with Sergeant Lyman, it's definitely been an absolute pleasure. Like I said at your luncheon the other day, Sergeant Lyman, we connected from day one. I remember our conversation in the car, we were trucking away to Poinsett. Remember that? Talking about a lot of stuff. You made the right decision, right? For you and the family, so you knew when the time was right. So I do thank you for your service. I thank you for everything you've done for the squadron. Long before I got here, and while during my tenure, you sacrificed so much. The family, thank you guys, Kendra, Billy, the extended family members, thanks for coming out and making the trip. Definitely means a lot. Also, happy birthday. 25? So this guy is retiring today. His birthday is today. You finished your bachelor's degree as well, right? Big three. Other than that, yeah, it's been a true pleasure, Sergeant Lyman. I wish you the best of luck. Please keep in touch. I'm going to miss you in the front office. Like I told you on Wednesday, you know in the shirts up there is his personality, his laughter. It's just infectious, and I'm definitely going to miss you, brother. I wish you all the best of luck for you and the family. Keep in touch, all right? Thanks to you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Oxstein. Now, the presiding official for today's ceremony, Lieutenant Colonel Graham Auden.
How's everybody doing? Good. I've done a lot of these. This is the hardest one I've had to write. I write these on a Word document every single time, and I couldn't do that. I had to write it with my hand to be deliberate. And this is copy like 14. I finished it about 20 minutes ago. This is it's a humbling honor to do a retirement ceremony. It's an incredibly humbling honor to have to share a stage with a friend and a mentor, trusted confidant, somebody who's helped me through many moments of difficult conversations, because command is undoubtedly a lonely business. It's a lonely business, and it doesn't feel like it should be, right? We're standing in this room at a podium, 150 people in this room celebrating service. It shouldn't be lonely, but you know what? Command is lonely. Because decisions for commanders are often done in an office with one, maybe two people in there helping you out with that decision. And for 2 years, we had some hard decisions here at the 20th Civil Engineer Squadron. The hardest one was to figure out how to defer maintenance on the sewer line, so I have to deal with that. I had to bring it back. This isn't a eulogy. We're having some fun around here, right? I'm sorry, that is a little too soon. But, it worked out for my benefit. Sorry, Jimmy. So, frankly, I thank you, Chief Featherston, for being here. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Oxendine and Meredith. Thank you for being here. Thank you for everybody, the words of inspiration, Captain Ravy. Phenomenal rendition of the national anthem, Mr. Berry. Right. Thank you to Chief Wyatt for putting all this on. and everybody else that made it happen because he's a chief now, he doesn't actually do anything. I'm serious about that. Thank you, Chief Livingston, for being here. Thank you to every single member of this 20th Civil Engineer Squadron for being here. But most importantly, thank you to this crew right here in the first row, the second row, the first row for celebrating your family member, your brother. Oh, and I'm sorry. And on that camera, for those that couldn't be here, thank you for celebrating a son, a grandson, a husband, a father, a brother, an uncle. I got the opportunity to live and work with him for 2 years, and I am so thankful for the 2 years that I got to spend with him, and I'm thankful for how you molded him for the times that I needed him to help me. I haven't looked at that yet. This is a moment. We're going to talk about something here in a minute. There's a theme to every career. The theme in this career was glaringly obvious, and it ended like it started. Being a supportive service to others. Service to others it comes in many fashions. It may be at negative 22 degrees in Russia, working on struts on the OC-135 open skies. It might be at 9 o'clock at night in an attorney's office talking about something that's incredibly difficult. It might be in service to his family and the decisions he makes for his family. So the other theme to this is a lifelong learner, because he graduated this week, yesterday, and his first report in the United States Air Force said he's earning to his CCA. And his second, and his third, and his 20th report also said he was earning 6 more credits. I think by the math, it was something like 312 credits. So. Congratulations, Dr. Lyman. EPRs have a funny way of telling the story, don't they? So who's the first sergeant here? There you go. All right. If you don't mind, indulge me for just a second. If you're a first sergeant in this room, can you stand up? All right. If you're a former first sergeant in this room, can you stand up? So I'm going to do just a quick moment, a quick conversation on first sergeants. I'm going to ask if please. Hey man, hey, that's you too. That's first So, first sergeant has a term of endearment, for those who don't know, called the shirt. And it's a term of endearment for a number of different reasons. And there's 2 roles that this duty position takes. The duty position can take the role of the first sergeant, or it can take the role of the shirt. I think the first sergeant turns on and off, but I think the shirt never turns off. Could y'all agree with that? All right, thanks. That's all I needed. That was your charge for today. This is Friday. We're going into the weekend, and I know that that's the worst time for first sergeants. Lead the way. It's also payday weekend. Shirts, come on now. Yes. Put that phone on. Yeah, never mind. All right, so and there's something unique I want to talk about real quick. The shirt, the first shirt. That's weird. That's some military jargon that nobody knows. What is that all about, right? There's a couple different origin stories. There's the origin stories of the shirt. The origin story that's most commonly understood and known as legend, because none of it's fact that we know of, is that back in the early Continental Army, the top enlisted man, and I'm using that term intentionally, would receive the first shirt on the front lines when the logistics convoy finally made it to the front lines. And that was often, a rub in the face of those that are wearing destroyed uniforms, tattered clothes, who have been jobbing it left and right. Other legend is that the shirt has had so many accolades that their shirt is weighed down by all the medals. Other legend is on the job site, everybody used to not wear a shirt on the job site and work as hard as they possibly could. But the top enlisted man would keep wearing his shirt because he's not working. Man. So I will say, I'm not going to offer any origin stories today, but I would like to offer an explanation that this is the way that I look at it based off the charge that we just talked about. Oftentimes the shirt's role and responsibility in a squadron changes so often, it's almost as often as we're changing our shirt. Because we're asking the shirt to do all kinds of things to build a resilient and ready force of airmen to serve however you're going to be asked to serve. That service could be in the worst places in the world. It could be in traditional roles as Air Force civil engineers or aircraft maintenance technicians. Or it could be in non-traditional roles, but you need to be ready and resilient to serve in that role. And that is a pretty vague definition. That's the intent of the shirt. Take care of our people. I will say that the first sergeant has to come out sometimes when good order and discipline might wane, or needs certain assistance from certain folks to help their people to get through some challenging issue, which I love that moment when First Sergeant Lyman came out to take care of our people. And sometimes taking care of our people is not the hugs and love that they might have needed. It might have been the tough love that was needed sometimes. But I can undoubtedly tell you, every conversation that I had with that gentleman right there in my office often ended with some moment of, how do we care for our people? How is this moment in their lives, the most difficult moment in their lives, how is this moment and how do we take care of our people? Or this person, regardless of what's happening. Okay, yeah, did you know he worked on airplanes too? Okay. So I'm going to talk about something real quick. Every good presiding officer should make sure everybody knows what this gentleman did throughout his entire career, and he worked on airplanes. He worked on a lot of airplanes, and there's some unique moments in his time. He came to the Air Force. He rose his hand, went to BNT in January of 2001. Y'all know what happened in 2001 later on. Showed up to his first duty assignment in October 2001, 30 days after. It was a reconnaissance squadron, and it was doing weird stuff. He spent 10 years in that reconnaissance squadron. Well, 2 reconnaissance squadrons, but 10 years supporting some of the most classified missions in the United States in the early stages of the War on Terror and as we recalibrated our intelligence services. Honestly, they put some bullets in your EPRs that I've confident they're classified, but I don't know their EPR, I'm just saying. So Open Skies. Open Skies missions, he served all over Russia, making sure that they're doing what they said they were going to do. Leave that to your imagination. He directly impacted the mission that collected North Korea's first nuclear test in 2006. That verified the proof of North Korea's nuclear test in 2006. That mission would not have launched without the work that he did. He directly supported the Discovery disaster and all the collection to try to find all the remnants and parts of the Discovery shuttle. He worked on RC-135 Cobra Ball, OC-135 Open Skies, WC-135W Constant Phoenix, and a couple others that I didn't know what it was, so frankly I didn't know what to write. But they sounded similar. So, 135, that's a theme. His time was 10 years at Offutt, and he went from an airman that they said, yeah, he's doing a pretty good job, to a brand new NCO, to a technical sergeant, leading airmen well beyond his years and leading missions that he should not have been leading as a senior airman or a staff sergeant. He hit off Legaheath. Who was there at Legaheath for this young man right here? So let's switch it up. I think a helicopter is about the same thing as a KC-135, right? Okay, it's about the same thing. They have like 5 wings or something. So he worked on HH-62 and CSAR. He also worked on F-15s, and it was time for quality assurance. So does everybody, in aircraft maintenance, I don't know anything about aircraft maintenance. In aircraft maintenance, does everybody like QA?
No.
When QA shows up on site, what happens?
Everybody stopped working.
Yeah, so welcome to Legaheath, your QA.
Yeah, first year, everybody stopped working.
4 years of Legaheath, direct support to operational missions all across Europe in the early aughts. 2011 through 2015, numerous operational support missions directly supported all across Afghanistan, Lower Africa, Middle East. Okay, it's time to head to Alabama. It's time to head home. Is there some folks on camera right now in Alabama? You know that's right. He's at Birmingham, Alabama, working the Air National Guard. Collective unit became the Pro Super. Pro Super is really where Sergeant Lyman becomes Master Sergeant Lyman, taking care of business. Pro Super turned Sergeant Lyman into the Senior NCO of the Year, Master Sergeant Lyman. Turned him into the Lieutenant General Lou Allen nominee. Turned his unit into the first ever award of the Omaha Trophy in the Air National Guard. So if you don't, I just researched the Omaha Trophy, big deal, aircraft maintenance, really big deal. First time the Air National Guard ever won it was directly attributed to him. Commander said it was his impact that drove the Omaha Trophy the first time the Air National Guard ever received it. Now, okay, that was the maintenance stuff. He's now time to be a first sergeant. He's well trained. He's known how to lead airmen. He comes to the best, no, not quite. He came to the best base in the United States Air Force, to the comptroller of WSA, and he took care of airmen through some of the hardest times, the hardest issues that any one airman, any team of airmen could deal with. So difficult, in fact, he was asked to come numerous occasions to come work with those airmen, and he did. And I will tell you that it's nothing that he told me because I never heard it from him. It's the airmen that I saw, or the junior airmen that I saw, that would say how impactful the shirt was to them in some of their darkest times. Now, where's Chief White? Hey, did we kind of, yeah, I'll say it. Did we kind of make it possible? He was going to come to CE no matter what, right?
Yes, sir, I think that's true. No matter what he wanted, he was coming over.
That's exactly right. when there's a legend that's so created, you got to enter tour and CE because, frankly, let's be real, aircraft maintenance. You got to turn to the 2700 Squadron. I can confidently say the best CE squadron in the United States Air Force. Does this sound familiar to anybody? You walk into the office and you say, "Hey, one quick thing." And about 95 minutes later, we're talking about Marcus Aurelius and meditations. I'm busting out Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. We're looking at page 146 and really debating the merits of the economic impact onto the intellectual body of psychology. And that's no joke. Brenda would say, "What in the hell are you doing?" And then I would walk into something 25 minutes late, and then she would give all the correction that was needed to the shirt. I will tell you, I've mentioned it, command is lonely, command is hard, and it continues to be difficult in many ways in what the Air Force and what our society is asking of commanders. The dependence of a first sergeant, the dependence that the commander has on a first sergeant is indescribable unless you've been a commander in the United States military. What we ask of our people, and I mean not command teams or the triad, what we ask of our people is abnormal from society. If you wear the uniform or have worn a uniform in the past, you have done some of the most remarkable things ever created in humanity. And it might not feel like that. Because it's bigger than each one of us individually. It's the collective effort of every person that wears a uniform that creates this incredible thing that we call the United States of America. We have protected it. We have supported it. We have done everything to make it last and continue to last. And the front line of that is the supervisor and it's your command teams. In the United States Army, it might start as a captain. In the United States Air Force, it might start as a major. But it is a difficult experience. Now, it is the most rewarding job any human being could ever do. It is the most powerful, rewarding experience on anybody could ever experience, and the first sergeant is the front line of that. Every moment that we had a chance to talk, the things that America's treasure can do is phenomenal. So I am incredibly blessed that my first sergeant sitting right there. My last first sergeant in this squadron sitting right there. And I am so thankful that we were able to serve our squadron as well as we did. And I'm so thankful that you have a command team in place that's taking care of you from here on. You guys lead the way every day. You have no idea how good you do it. You have no idea how impactful you are across the world. And I'm frankly so thankful to have the experience to serve with you, to serve amongst you, because I am damn proud to know everything that y'all do and everything that we've done as an Air Force. Super, incredibly powerful, and nobody can hold us down. So I had so many stories written here that I realized I probably shouldn't say. It says, Gitmo, A Few Good Men. It says JAG. It says 3-digit agencies. It says JAG. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, actually, it finished the last sentence. Just talked about JAG. So we're not going to talk about them. No. I love attorneys. If you're in the room, I love y'all. You're fantastic. I'm so thankful to share the stage with you today. I'm so humbled and honored to be the presiding official. So thankful to our team here to allow me to come back and stand here with you today. And you ready to do this? All right. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the Victorious Service Medal, followed by the publishing of the official retirement order. Attention to orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Victorious Service Medal, 4th Oakley Cluster, to Master Sergeant Dwayne Lyman. Master Sergeant Lyman distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service in the United States as First Sergeant, 20 Civil Engineering Squadron, 20 Mission Support Group, 20 Fighter Wing, Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina. During this period, Sergeant Lyman served exceptionally in a senior master sergeant position as the key human resources advisor to the commander regarding the morale, health, and welfare of 436 engineers and their families. His relatable and energetic spirit drove the squadron to success, inspiring to earn the 2021 Headquarters Air Force Best Small Civil Engineer Unit Runner-Up Award, 11 Air Combat Command Awards, and designation as the most deployed civil engineering squadron in Air Combat Command in 2 years in a row. Furthermore, he served as the wing lead for the Senior Enlisted Advisor to the Chairman, Joint Chiefs of Staff installation visit. He coordinated with 35 key leaders and units across 2 installations, ensuring that Chairman's message and vision was heard by all tactical level concerns were captured for Department of Defense action. Additionally, because of his keen human resource skills, Sergeant Lyman was chosen above his peers to guide 250 personnel and command teams from the 20th Wing Staff Agency, 20th Comptroller Squadron, and 20th Contracting Squadron. His efforts lead the units to 4 command, 9 wing, and 21 group award command. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Sergeant Lyman culminate a distinguished career in service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Attention to orders. Special order number AC 007602, Master Sergeant Dwayne Lyman, you are relieved from active duty, 20th Engineering Squadron, Shaw Air Force Base, South Carolina, retired effective 31 May 2023 with 22 years and 5 months of service. In accordance with AFI 363203, in the grade of Master Sergeant, by order of the President of the United States. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. Lieutenant Colonel Arnold would now present Master Sergeant Lyman with the Certificate of Retirement. Certificate of Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. This is to certify that Master Sergeant Lyman, having served faithfully and honorably, was retired from the United States Air Force of the first day of June 2023. Signed, Colonel Christopher Smith, Commander, 20th Fighter Wing, and General Charles Q. Brown, United States Air Force Chief of Staff. And now, Lieutenant Colonel Alden will present Master Sergeant Lyman with the Presidential Certificate of Appreciation. It reads, Certificate of Appreciation for Service in the Armed Forces of the United States of America. Master Sergeant Dwayne Lyman, I extend you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. You have helped maintain the security of the nation during a critical time in its history with a devotion to duty and spirit of sacrifice in keeping with the proud traditions of military service. I trust that in the coming years you will maintain an active interest in the armed forces and the purpose for which you serve. Those who follow in your footsteps will draw inspiration from your commitment, dedication, and sacrifices made to ensure the protection of our American freedom. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, Joe Biden, Commander-in-Chief. And now, Lieutenant Colonel Alden will present Master Sergeant Lyman with the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Certificate of Appreciation. It reads, I am proud to join your friends and family in congratulating you on your retirement from the United States Air Force. The achievement and contributions you have made are indicative of the core values of our great service. Your retirement is well deserved, but your selfless contributions will sorely be missed. On behalf of all the airmen, thank you for your faithful and devoted service for our nation. As this chapter in your life closes and a new one begins, I hope the years ahead are filled with more great memories and continued success. Signed, Joanne S. Bass, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Every retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their active duty service. At this time, I would like to ask Master Sergeant Lyman's wife, Kendra, to please come to the stage to fasten the retirement pin to her husband's lapel. And now, Lieutenant Colonel Alden will present Kendra Lyman with a Certificate of Appreciation from Chief of Staff of the Air Force. The certificate reads, in grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents the Certificate of Recognition to Kendra Lyman for the commitment and numerous contributions that made a positive impact to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spousal service. Given this first day of June 2023, signed Colonel Christopher Smith, Commander 20th Fighter Wing, signed 1 June 2023, signed Colonel Christopher Smith, Commander 20th Fighter Wing, and General Charles Q. Brown, Chief of Staff of the Air Force. Ms. Kendra Lyman will now also receive the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force Certificate of Appreciation. The certificate reads, on behalf of all the Air Force Airmen and their families, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force presents this Certificate of Appreciation to Kendra L. Lyman. I join your spouse, family, and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifice you made in support of the United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse service in the defense of our nation. Signed, Joanne S. Bass, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. Jordan, will you please join your father and mother on stage? We have a special certificate for you as well. the United States Air Force took their appreciation to Jordan Lyman for your dedication, commitment, and numerous sacrifices that allowed your father to serve faithfully in support of our nation's defense. On behalf of the entire Air Force and the people of this nation, thank you for providing strength and purpose to your father's service. Signed, 1 June 2023, Colonel Christopher Smith, Commander, 20th Fighter Wing, and General Charles T. Brown, Chief of Staff of the Air Force. At this time, we would like to present Master Sergeant Lyman with a few parting words. A presentation from the commander of the 20th Operation Medical Readiness Squadron and the First Sergeant of the 20th Medical Group, Lieutenant Colonel Fackelman and First Sergeant Kathleen Greenwood.
You come to me and I'm finding out at your retirement ceremony. So I had the pleasure of meeting Shirt Lamone in July of this year. And when we did introduce, he said, everyone calls me Lyman, but it is really Lamone. But considering we're at your retirement ceremony, I think that it's, yeah. It's not it is with great honor that I even stand up here, and I say that because I almost met a loss of words for you as a human being, person. You blow me away. Let me tell you why. So on 23 July of this year, as a commander, I received the worst phone call I've had in my 18 months of command. And Shirt Greenwood, who is very meaningful to our team and is absolutely outstanding. And Senior Master Sergeant James, who's our superintendent, called me to give me this news, but Shirt Greenwood, as we knew, was out of town. So on this Saturday, when we got this call and we rushed to a Columbia hospital, Shirt Lamone introduced himself to me. And it was almost immediately. So first, let me thank you for sharing that time with me, because I did mention it was a Saturday. So thank you for sharing that, because where I'm about to go is impactful to me for the rest of my life and my team. And they'll talk about that, I'm sure. He was right off the bat, almost like he'd been a med group member the whole time. Like you would have never thought that was the first introduction, obviously because the name even stuck as Lamone. So I can't thank you enough. He stayed at the hospital twice about it. He checked on us multiple times, even though when Shirt Greenwood got back. Later we found out, and continued to call, by the way. I mean, I really think when I said to him, you should join our med group team because we really had enough people and enough things going on, he could really help us out. Just so you know, his first words weren't on the CE show, I can't. His first words were, I'm retiring. You were such a gift to me and Senior James that day and continue to be, even after Shirt Greenwood got back. I later found out from Shirt Greenwood that Shirt explained to me why you are so amazing. So thank you for all that you've done over your entire career. Thank you. I provided Shirt Greenwood, that me and Senior James, you will forever be a part of our team and our family. That was forever be a part of our team and our family. That was instantly made that day when I met you, Shirt Greenwood.
this quick, but it's a two-part gift, and here's why. So, when I asked him what his choice of drink was, he said vodka. I was like, I can't get you a nice bottle of vodka around here, right? It's like $30. So I'm from Texas, so I got him a Texas bottle of whiskey. If you look at the bottle, one of the things that he's told me, this is my first year as a shirt, and he has been there from day one. I got engraved on there, it's too easy, I got you. Because that's what he tells me every time I call. He has never once told me, no, I'm too busy. He's never told me, I can't today. He's always told me, too easy, I got you. And he's there for me. So Kendra and Jordan, thank you. You guys have shared so much of his time with everybody. I truly appreciate it, and thank you. Thanks for being there and thanks for that call.
The Military Shadow Box is a time-honored tradition that is rooted in military history. Your shadow box is a snapshot of. Everybody here? Your shadow box is a snapshot of a long storied military career spanning 22 years during air power at home and abroad. Each item on display was carefully selected to capture a lifetime of service of the United States. Master Sergeant Lyman's shadow box is on display to my right for your view and enjoy after the ceremony. And now, Master Sergeant Lyman, the Shaw Air Force Base First Sergeants would like to pay you a special tribute.
Long brother. First Sergeant's post. I am a first sergeant. My job is people. Everyone is my business. I dedicate my time and energy to their needs, their health, morale, discipline, and welfare. I grow in strength by strengthening my people. My job is done in faith. My people build my faith. The Air Force is my life. I share it with my people. I believe in the Air Force role to take care of our own. My job is people. Everyone is my business. The first sergeant is easily distinguishable from the other enlisted ranks by the diamond in the center of their chevron. The first point of the diamond symbolizes reaching out to the community and building a trust, as first sergeants so often do. The second point symbolizes subordinates, for while they truly serve those above them, we, as first sergeants, also serve them. The third point signifies peers, for they assist us in so many ways. The fourth and highest point on the diamond signifies God, as we, like so many, ask for his counsel in times of hardship and despair that we see in those we serve. Today, we will recognize the first sergeant by a bright reflection in their eyes to lighten up dark and gloomy situations, broad shoulders for leaning on and carrying the burden of others, eyes in the back of their head for seeing everything that's going on, a tough body that can endure all stress and continue smiling, worry wrinkles in the brow from caring for certain, a longing behind the smile from loneliness, because people only see them as the shirt, the enforcer of standards, the one to be feared. That's our Lyman. We've formed this diamond in your honor, for you and for all those who see it, to show our gratitude for a job extremely well done. You are one of us, and you will be missed. But remember,
Diamonds are forever.
You got one chance, bro.
Diamonds, dismissed.
So I'm gonna hear all the ceremony real quick. You weren't expecting this for you? Everybody here? Yeah. All right. Sergeant Lyman, council president, when I came to Shaw Air Force Base a year and a half ago, first person reached out to me. I was coming from overseas. Said, "Hey, Senior Larson, we can't wait for you to get here. We got a lot going on in this council, and I need your help." I said, "Roger that, man. Let's get to work when I get there." I just want to thank you for the council. You brought a unique perspective to the council. Sometimes people needed to hear things that they didn't want to hear, and you were the one that said those words. And for the council, you brought 110% every day, and we're going to miss you, brother. I wish you weren't retiring. I wish things would have worked a different way that we were hoping, but we're going to miss you, man. And always reach out if you need anything from us. That council back there is here for you. All right, buddy?
Her to get it done for me. Like, she was, like, I don't care, I can get someone else to do it. Like, that was my mentality. I was always about the mission. And she was the first person in the States to say, "Hey, sure. You know I love you, right?" Your ass was wrong. You can't just go around, you remember that? You can't just go around cursing people out all willy-nilly. Like, you gotta figure that thing out. You gotta know who you're talking to before you do something like that. So, thank you for smoothing those edges and introducing me into the life of an office environment. I think I'm the guy right there. They already know what time it is. And she was like, and I would just say something, and she'll be like, "Yeah, that's not like something that Darius is like." I'm like, "What did I say?" And he was a poet at the time. I don't think you even know these stories he's gonna do. And so he finally gets back, and he comes, and you know, I'll do something crazy, and they'll tell me I'm wrong, or she'll tell me I'm wrong, and then I was like, "I don't think I'm wrong." Like, you know, go read my Darius and see, go read my DW and see if it's wrong. And then he'll come and tell me it's wrong, and then the next day he's gonna do the same thing. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm like, this is not gonna work." This friendship is gonna be awesome because he thinks like me. We think alike, and it was a great mentor to have to start being a first sergeant. So thank you guys for everything. Thank you to my family. Like, you guys travel across the country. Mr. came from Ohio. Chris, Erica, you guys came from Louisiana. Madison, Ryan, Ashley, you guys came from Alabama. Chris, you came all the way from Arkansas. Jeannie, you guys came from Alabama as well. So thank you guys for joining us in this event. It's truly an honor. So something about me, one thing. Like, I just wanted you guys to know this before I even get started. If someone in our family is gonna start crying, right, it's one of three people. It's my older sister, it's Jordan, and it's me. Like, I don't get it. So Ms. Brenda, do you got my Kleenex one? You got my tissues? You don't have my tissues. Because I'm sure it's gonna play, we got my open here pretty soon. So something that I try to do with life and everything is, like, whenever there's some kind of negative event or whatever, I have to try to balance that energy, right? Like, so, for example, whatever, like some of that first sergeant stuff that Colonel Otten was talking about, like one of my duties was walking these guys through like the discharge process whenever they had incidents at park and they discharged from the Air Force. Like, that's like one of the worst things for me. Like, that eats away at my soul because I feel like there was something that someone could have done in some moment of time to course correct, right? And we missed an opportunity. So I have to call like some of the guys who got kicked out before, and I've done it all the time, a lot, just so that they can see how they're doing, right? I I have to get something, some good news from somewhere to balance that energy. So you got it? You see what I like to do? Okay, so my sister, Carla, I don't like saying that, your name, Carla Jean Lima. And I like laughing at my own jokes, so you guys don't laugh, I'm gonna laugh at it. Just going down. Like the clown, you guys are a version of the shirt and the Wayne today. I'm like, you guys better get ready. Is that what you, where's Captain? Where's Captain? Where you at? Is that what y'all want? Like, you want that uncut version?
That's what I need.
Yeah, so Jeannie, back in this time, we were going through hell. Can I curse? I'm gonna do it anyway. We were going through hell. We just lost Troy D, just lost their father, and like it was rough. It was a tough time. So this ceremony isn't just for Kendra and Jordan. It is for you. It's for you indeed. Like I want to share this moment with you guys to where whenever you do feel down or you feel like grief, you can have a memory to counter that during the same period. Does that help? Would you accept that? You know, and you know, December is a special month. It's the month that we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ, right? And we celebrate the birth of the Wayne Lima. Pray for me. Pray for me. I think there's a lot more December birthdays out there as well that are just as important. Crystal's daughter's birthday today. So, like that's pretty cool. Erica, when I was in basic training, you never wrote me. Like, what was that about? Huh? 2001. I don't think you liked me back in 2001. Madison was like 4 years old and she wrote me twice. She didn't write me like every week. So you didn't write me. I'm kind of upset. Oh yeah, I hope present. I just called you. 22 years. We're gonna have that conversation. Oh man, that's awesome. So Kendra, 2004, I meet Kendra. Well, I saw Kendra walking inside of the TV with me. Yeah, I'm about to go and get her. I'm about to go and cook this fish. So I go and talk to her, she cursed me out. She straight up destroyed me inside of the TV with me. And I'm sitting there like, I'm thinking of the dude, right? I'm like, I got it going on. She straight up cursed me out so bad. I just shriveled up like a little raisin. So I walked around the store for like 20 minutes. Like how do I do this? Like, how do I figure this thing out or whatever, right? So she finally comes out of the store. I don't know what she was doing. I don't even care. I said, hey, pardon me, can I buy you a fish sandwich? So ladies, man, Leon, that's my movie reference right there. So if you guys hear movie reference, don't hesitate to blurt it out because I do love movies. Yeah, so we got together. I had an unfortunate event like right after that. I had to go back home for a couple more weeks, and we really got to know each other, and we just made a connection. 4 years later, she said, I do like to throw a ring and said, hey, here, I'm a mechanic. Like I wasn't romantic at all. You remember that? My bad. Like, I'll make it up to you. I got time to do this. I got time to think about. This is Brenda taught me how to just think more about things instead of just doing things. Shout out to Brenda. It was good. A couple years later, we decided that we needed to have a child. And before we do this, like we were like, okay, let's get some dogs and see if we can raise these dogs. We'll have a child. So in our house we have like a memory board. It's the Lima family, Dwayne and Kendra, Lady and Bo, Jordan. So I mean, I was like 14, 15 years ago. We got Lady and Bo. Lady died in April. Bo is still walking around like he owns the place. Shaggy dog. He's another one. But Jordan she truly makes being a parent easy. I don't have to. I just listen to her. She just tell me what she needs, and I go and do it. If I have to go and choke out a kid, and she said, Dave, you go and choke this kid, I'll probably do that too. Don't mess with my girl. I would definitely have to, because you already said it. So like, oh yeah, like days and take care of it. Like, I can't do all things, but I'll definitely try. So shout out Jordan. She's truly a blessing. So, don't miss anybody. I don't think I missed anyone with that. How about time? I think we're going to keep it at 5 minutes. That's not gonna happen. My mom and my granny. I did miss somebody. Granny, she's watching right now. She had a heart surgery, and on Wednesday, like as soon as I finished speaking, I got the text, "Hey, Granny's going into surgery," and it was successful. She's watching this right now. They talked to her last night. I can't talk to her because I was emotional enough, and I didn't want her to start crying because I'm crying. So I called her today. But shout out to Granny. If she could put that surgery off and come out here and be with me today, she definitely would have. She probably even tried, but they probably counseled her against doing something like that. And my mom, she has definitely been there for me. She knows the good, bad, and ugly, and she don't mind telling me the bad and ugly. So I'll take. I had to tell them. I had to explain to her and my granny, hey, old people get the business too. Like, don't think you're confused with them. Like, there's no exemptions. Like, everybody can get the business. No, I'm just the child grading. So, if I had to say a couple words, 3 words, or title like my career, and title this speech, it would be "It Worked for Me." Unfortunately, Colin Powell wrote a book called "It Worked for Me." Right? So I was on the phone with LeBron James last night, and he said, "Dwayne," I talked to Colin Powell back in 1998. I told him one day you were going to retire from the Air Force. You were going to retire your seat and work for me. So you got that. LeBron James alive. That's okay. That's my dude. So 3 words to sum up my career. Man, it is. I should have wrote this out. What should I try to put my face in this drop? Mindset, behavior, and habit. Mindset, behavior, and habit. So when I came to the Air Force back in 2001, I had some bad habits. Right? I think I was older. I thought that the world revolves around me. I'm the baby of the family. They let me do whatever I wanted to do because I was going to chase them in the night or something. I don't know. And I was a little rough. I was talking to one of my previous supervisors, Dave Tyson. Shout out Dave Tyson a couple weeks ago, last week. And he was like, "Yeah, the way like you were a good worker, but you were that area nobody wanted to supervise because they didn't know what version of you they were going to get." And I was like, "Wow, like cool." And he's like, "Every time I see someone post something about you on Facebook or Instagram or something, like it just makes me so proud because like I had a hand in your development. Like you did, you had a huge hand in my development, Dave. If you're watching, I owe everything to you because you steered me from a path of questionable decision to I am on West Square. What's up, Barbara? Oh, West Square, man. I need a tissue. Making questionable decisions to making better decisions, right? So my mindset was off. My behavior was off. So I had to change my mindset while I was at Oxford, while I was an airman, to become an NCO. And it wasn't easy because I like having fun. Like I think everyone knows that Dwayne is gonna have some fun, like no matter what, right? Nobody's gonna stop me from having fun. That's what I did. But it came at a cost. It really did. Like when he said that, I kind of took a deep breath. I was like, wow. I'm like, okay, like I got you. Like, thank you. Thank you for straightening, like giving me that experience that I eventually need to take care of everyone down the road. Like I had no idea of the lessons that I was learning. Just to go off on that a little bit, I want every single airman to CTS to know something. Two things. every single piece of advice that I gave you came from two places. Came from love, by all means, and it came from experience. A lot of experience. You know, I articulated my career. He did a really great job showing the highlights of my career. But it wasn't easy. It was not easy. It became easier, right? Once I changed my mindset, once I changed my behavior, right, I developed new habits. With those habits came, you know, more people who watched you, what you do. And one thing I didn't want to do ever is disappoint people. I hate disappointing people. So I took that to heart. I took my lessons that I learned from that author to heart. Every heartache, every piece of drama that I caused, every piece of pain, every extra minute. Some of my senior NCOs, you'll understand this. Every extra minute that I took from one of my senior NCOs, right, I tried to, without getting sure, I tried to take that back from you guys. Like, you guys had issues. Like, I just took complete control. Up to you know. Where's up to you know? I took control, right? And sometimes I hate a lot. Like, I was like, I got it. Like, let me do my thing, right? Like, that wasn't for me. That wasn't for my glory or my pleasure. That's because I took so much time from people before. I waited to give it back to you guys. Give your time back. I love the folks in the crowd, right? But again, I said it's three of us, all three of us crowd. All three of us. So I went to England, you know, a PCS in England. It's all about the mindset, right? Right. I knew how to be an NCO at this point. I had it down. I had all the experience. I caused a lot of experience. I dealt with a lot of experience from other people. And I just didn't know how to be a good husband or father yet, right? I never really had an example. So I meet this guy. We were riding a bus to Birmingham, England. And I'm sitting down on the bus next to Ken, and I hear this guy telling a story to Mr. Raby. I didn't really know Mr. well at this point. And he's laughing because he don't want to go with this. And this guy wasn't lying, he was behind off, right? Telling Mr. Because you know, Mr.'s pretty aggressive too, and if someone's mistreating anyone, like he's not going to tolerate any kind of mistreatment, right? He's going to go and see what's going on, and maybe he can do something. And I heard this guy just lying to him. I'm sitting there like, I'm like a liar. So I got to go and say something. Like a kid. I always mind somebody else's business. That's my job. People are my business. So I find Mr. The next duty day, I go and I find him in his office. He was a maintainer as well. And I was like, yo man, like all that crap that dude was telling you wasn't the truth. I need you, I just want you to know that. And he went and confirmed. He went and confirmed. And from that day on, we just became friends. Became brothers. He became one of my life coaches. I'm older than he is too. That doesn't mean anything because that was pointed. Because I can learn from anyone. I don't care how old you are. But anyway, if you can talk, you can teach. So older people, listen. Like just because someone's younger than you, that doesn't mean they don't know what they're talking about. So we linked up, and I just started watching how he has 5 kids now. 5 kids now. Shout out, Mr. Shout out to 5 kids. Y'all should be in CE. And I watched how he took care of his family. I watched how he loved his wife, and it gave me an example of how to be a good father and how to be a good husband. Although Kendall wanted to hit me with that hammer a couple times, but that's okay. I probably deserved it. Yeah, I did. I probably did. I think every argument we had, like I caused it. So I learned how, now I know how to be an airman. I know how to be a husband. I know how to be a father. And now it's time to PCS again, right? PCS to the spot, the state that it all started, right? Alabama. If I would have went to Alabama before I went to England, we probably, there's no doubt about it. Like, I would be in the Air Force. Like I don't know what I would have been, but I just wasn't mature enough to handle one at home. So I had to go to England to get that skill set, right? To be able to handle the pressure going back to Alabama and being around my family. Now what this did for us, it gave Jordan an opportunity to get to know her aunts. It gave her an opportunity to get to know her cousins. It gave me an opportunity to go home and like gave us an opportunity to go home and be with our family, to be closer to our family. While there, I think I've had the most growth. I have I haven't even looked at my notes. Not even got to here. Yeah, I got you. Like, I didn't mean to watch you. Just Brandon, I remember that box of tissues before when that happened. I had the most growth personally while in Alabama. I had a friend there who he was over pastoral care for a church there, and we just hung out and played basketball together. But I watched how he took care of how he went about his business. Can you guys hear me about? Okay. I watched how he went about his business and just took care of people, right? I was in the community, feeding the homeless, all kinds of stuff, halfway houses. Well, like you name it, like we was at the medical clinic, helping out with the homeless there. Like we were involved, and I'm just watching how Corey just took care of people. He asked the tough questions. He didn't let people off the hook. He held people accountable, which was incredible, right? But I never knew what that was going for me. I never knew that I was being prepared for the next job, right? I never knew that. Never was supposed to be a shirt. Like I said, Earman Lyman, you would never know that this dude was going to become my first sergeant. As a matter of fact, whenever my chief, I kept getting these notifications, hey man, you're going to be a shirt. Like, no, I'm not. And once he finally came, I'm like, hey, does the Air Force know who I am or what I've done? And he was like, nah, dude, you'll be all right. Like, you seriously you're gonna make you better at what you do. I wanted to slap him, but I have not. I'm in the military. I did that, and I walked out of his office. I still talk to him today. He's probably watching as well. Shout out Chief Keys. So I was preparing for this. So I get this time when this comes out, and with these bases on there were like, they're just glamorous. Hickam, Wheeler, all kinds of like nice bases, but something was drawing me here in Shaw. I did my research, like we all do before your PCS, right? You do your research, you saw what was going on. And this base was going through some crap back in 2018. I'm not gonna call the roll on it, but it was a lot. Suicide, resilience, just the issues of resiliency. People like down on the track from heat exhaustion or whatever the case may be. And that was just something drawing me. I really didn't know what it was, but I put it down. I told people we're going to South Carolina, we're going to go to Sumter or Shaw or whatever. You look up the school system like, hey, ain't living in Sumter. You know, ain't living in Sumter. Can't do it. So, it's like I'll commute, and then in 3 years, like, we'll just live here. So the journey began as a first sergeant. And let me tell you, when you talk about hitting the ground running, that's what I did. Like the day I got here, I went to the Zahidi office so we could put out a bolo for someone who was not where he's supposed to be. And it had to stop. It didn't stop until a couple months ago. In my first wing staff CPTS, shout out to you guys. Like, those 4 ladies right there, reach hands. Okay, yeah, you got it. You heard me, Miss Manning. Like, don't mess with Dwayne because you're gonna get the business. From those, the 4 horsemen right there. Like, do not mess with me. Do not upset Dwayne because they're gonna come and get you, and it wasn't gonna be pretty. So shout out to you guys, all the civilians that are in this room right now. I have to talk about you guys for a second because I don't think like what you do gets enough attention. I know that you guys. I'm not politicking for a job. I'm not politicking for a job. I know that you guys are gonna be here. Right, this is your home. Like we're borrowed time here. Like most of us. I gotta get orders. Like there's some people who've been here a long time now. I don't know how. We're gonna get orders and we're gonna go away. And you guys are gonna still be here maintaining, steering the ship. So I thank Thank you all. Thank you all for your mentorship. Thank you all for all the wisdom you've given me. Mr. Healy, Ms. Jones, Mr. Kane, Mr. Kevin, all you guys, right? Like, you don't hesitate to, put your hand in my back and say, hey, maybe we should, maybe you should do something a little bit different. Maybe you should do something over here. I brought this iPad. Like, it was exclusively for Mr. Wendell. And Mr. Wendell, he walking around with his iPad. Every meeting he goes to, Mr. Wendell got his iPad. So, Mr. Wendell, let me tell you about that. So, I spent a year at CBTS, and you guys heard Sergeant Wyatt and Colonel Otten say how I ended up in CE. But whew, I was so intimidated when I went to CE. Like, the magnitude, I always wanted to be an engineer. But I just, I just knew like it was like a huge deal, like it was a huge blocker. Was I prepared for it at the time? No. Let me tell you why I say that. So the first time I go into his office, we're sitting there talking. I don't know if you remember this. You probably don't. You will. And we're talking, and I'm over to your desk, your table, and you had your coins and everything. And coins go everywhere. Everywhere, right? And I leave out of the office, I'm like, oh my God, this dude thinks that I'm a freaking klutz. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. He's right about that. Coins everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how do I make up for this? Like, what do I do? Right, and I try to put him back, and he's like, no, like, it's all right. And every time I put the coin back, they like 5 more balls. And so, man, it was bad. So I go, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm thinking, like, okay, let me go, I'm a woodworker, so let me go and make sure that, I did, do this. So I go and I look at his corn rag, and the thing was like, busted and disgusted. Like, I had nothing to do with those corns falling down. Like, this corn holder was destroyed. It had went through like too many moves. So I fixed that. Come here for a second. Come on, yeah.
No way.
Yeah. So, I went down there too, so.
I want one too.
You like that? Yeah, man, this is serious. So let me tell you why. Let me talk about this. I'll take that car. So,
All my coins are just sitting
oh, thanks. You got somewhere better now. His leadership, his friendship, has been invaluable. He got me through some dark times. He got me through some serious, some dark times. Him, Chief Livingston was there. BW was there. Mister was there. Major Zizer, shout out Major Zizer, Major Escatel, they were there. So some of you guys have heard me talk about that inner circle, right? Some of my engineers. But you have to have that. Right? Like, you guys didn't know I was going through issues. You know why? Because I had a team around me, circling me, who was giving me the strength to get out there and serve you guys. You always have to have people in your corner, on your team, who know whether or not, who know how you feel, who know when your energy is off. There was maybe a period, like a month straight. Every single day, at the end of the day, I was in Colonel Otten's office, balling. At the end of the day, before I went home. Because the job doesn't stop once you leave the base. So you still have to go home, be a father, be a husband, be a dog owner. I was in your office crying every day. The Hill Jedi mind trick, his emotional intelligence is off the chart. We'll have a beer. Then I'll drive home. Kidding, not kidding.
Where's Mr. Healy?
So I'm getting home. This one particular day, I made it home, and I was just bouncing off the wall. I was going crazy, And Kendra was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, what are you doing? I said, my energy's high. We gotta have some fun. And they said, hey. We don't want 100% of you. We want like 45, 50%. Like, you're doing too much right now. You need to chill out. But I had to be a husband, be a father. This guy right here, that guy right there, DW, they helped me. They gave me the strength. They gave me all the energy that I needed to go and do that and wake up the next 20 minutes for a phone call or whatever the case may have been to go and get the job done. Thank you. Whew, man. Oh my God. You know, me and Chief would be sitting in Colonel Ogden's office, and we got to be, hey, I think he got some good ideas. And what does he do, Chief? Like, man, maybe we should think about that. We're like, oh Lord, back to the drawing board. Like, he didn't like that idea. But it was great. Some of the decisions that he had to make, like some that I was like, like, I don't know, that's a bad idea. I think that's gonna really bite us. And he'll just start pulling like data points from about this individual, you know, particularly individual, anyone, and he'll just start telling us why it's a good idea. Like he never did anything or made a decision like to just realistically hurt anyone or jeopardize anyone or put anyone in harm. Like his leadership was just unmatched. Like it was. Like they were calling the GOAT for anything, right? we have not. The same family. They're both GOAT family, right? They're both GOATs. Thank you. I'm telling you, girl, my time with you has been like tremendous. So I'm not going to keep you guys too much longer, but I want you to think about something. In order to develop new habits, you have to embrace and know that there's an issue. You have to change your mindset. I had to, throughout my career was marked with me just like there's so many stories I can tell about me just having to change my mindset because of the behavior that I was depicting wasn't becoming a good person, a good husband. I'm a good husband, by the way. I hope so anyway. She hasn't told me anything. She's still here after 15 years. She kicked me to the curb. I got her stuck on the couch. I had to change my mindset just to be who I am and have the impact that you guys allow me to have. These guys let me into their lives, and I really appreciate you guys. So, on that note, I'm out. Love you guys. That's your fault. So I do have a couple presentations. I got you. So she's a blanket kid. Like she has to have her security blanket, and we've collected all her blankets throughout her life. And I had a quilt made. What's all your blankets on her? Okay. I'm the line that protects you. Yeah, you're not out the hood. I got something for you too. Don't look at it now. That's good enough. Now on that note, are we good now? All right, Carl, back to you, man.
Thank you for joining us today for this very special occasion. The men and women of the 20th Civilian Engineering Squadron have been honored to serve with Master Sergeant Lyman. We want to thank you for everything and wish you and your family Godspeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please remain standing and join me in the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. A receiving line will form as soon as the official party departs. Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here it comes, soon to be our thunder. And boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, starting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame around the flames. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
It wasn't